Hello, coaches, and welcome to the Coach C Basketball Analytics Podcast. In today's episode, I want to talk about what it really means to play championship basketball. Because playing championship basketball does not begin when you get there. It starts in everything that comes before it. All the battles, all the practices, all the moments where no one is watching. That is where it begins. That is where it is built. Everyone wants to win championships, but not everyone knows where to start. And many end up mixing the process instead of building it with clarity. It is a journey, and time matters. You have to live each day with purpose. Make the most of every moment. No slippage, no pushing things to tomorrow, no excuses. It is a development process, one that is shaped every day by the mental, the technical, and the tactical. These are not separate paths. They do not meet at some point. They move forward together, and they have to stay aligned. When they are not aligned, the process breaks down. And when the moment comes, it shows. You may value the moment when it comes, but you will not be ready to take it. At that level, failure shows up somewhere. Mental, technical, tactical. And that is the difference. That does not happen at the championship. It shows up there. And it all starts with coaching. How you lead the development process, how you run your day-to-day practices, what you demand, what you allow. The process will shape your team, but it will also mature you as a coach. At some point, it has to become clear to your players. Every time you step on the floor, the goal is to be better than the last time. That is where toughness is built. That is where confidence comes from. Now, when you get to moments like March Madness, everything evens out. Talent is there. Preparation is there. And this is what makes March Madness so unique. Every team that gets there believes they can win. They have earned that right. But belief is not the separator. At that level, everyone is prepared. Everyone has talent. Everyone expects to win. What separates teams is who is truly ready. Ready mentally, ready technically, ready tactically, ready to handle the responsibility of that moment. And I have been hearing this more lately. You watch games now and you hear commentators talking about controlling possessions, managing the game, understanding tempo. That was not always part of the conversation. For me, this has been part of how I have seen the game for a long time. And over the years, analytics has helped shape and reinforce that perspective, not to replace coaching, but to give it clarity. And this is where it connects because we talk about numbers, points per possession, pace, shot attempts per possession time, shot selection. At that level, everyone is close. Analytics do not beat teams. Execution does. Championship teams understand how to control the game. They value possessions. They manage tempo. They know when to speed it up and when to slow it down. That is not talent. That is preparation. That is awareness. And there is something else. Unpredictability. If you are predictable at that level, you're easier to beat, no matter how talented you are. Championship teams can adjust. They can change defenses. They can take away what you do best. That comes from preparation, not from the moment. And depth matters, not just numbers, sustainability. If your system depends on one or two players, it will break under pressure. Championship teams have enough depth to maintain their level. It takes a special type of chemistry to win at that level. A group that understands the goal is bigger than the individual. And you'll also have to understand this. Your preparation and your hard work will determine your level of luck. And this is where readiness shows up. I remember a final, a back and forth game. One of my best players was on the bench with 4 fouls. I was watching the clock, trying to decide when to bring him back. About 5 minutes left. As the first walked in front of him, he looked at me and said, "Coach, I'm ready. Let me go in and bring this one home." That told me everything. I put him back in. We ran an isolation for him. He drove to the basket, dunked, got fouled, and won. We went up 2. And in those final minutes, we managed the game. We protected the lead. We did not lose control. We closed it out and won the championship. He was ready. I was ready to trust that moment. And more importantly, the team and I were ready for the responsibility of achieving what we had worked so hard for. In the end, championships are not won in that game. They are revealed in that game. Championship basketball is not something you turn on. It is something you build. And when the moment comes, you are not hoping to be ready. You already are. Coaches, that wraps up today's episode. Appreciate you taking the time to listen. Hope to have you with us on the next episode. Until then, focus on the process because that is where championship basketball is built.